All right, what's good? What's good? This is the Chicago Sports Talk, Michael. We are gonna be ranking who is gonna the NFC North from last to first. So this is gonna be an unbiased Chicago Bears fan opinion, and I already know most of the comment section will not agree. Maybe some, but look, majority is not going to agree because people will just think, oh, because this guy's a Bears fan, you know what he's talking about, bro. Listen, I just don't say something without talking about it. So let's get right into it and hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification button. So let's start off with first comes and first comes serve. The Minnesota Vikings. Now, you may be asking yourself, Michael, why do you think the Vikings are going to finish last? Simple. They have no quarterback. Okay? They have Sam Darnold. Okay? That should tell you how terrible this team is going to be next year. They did add pieces to may help their case, getting Aaron Jones, extending Justin Jefferson, and also keeping Harrison Smith. Their biggest loss was losing Kirk Cousins. And they also lost the edge rusher, Danielle Hunter. They also lost him in free agency. They did get some few pieces on their defense, but it's to be seen. Their defense is still hot garbage. This is a high case of a offense that you have to rely on winning a shootout. And maybe if they had Kirk Cousins, I would rank them I would say that if they had Kirk Cousins, they would probably be at least number 3 or maybe even number 2 for that, because of the simple fact that maybe Kirk Cousins is worthy of being trusted in a shootout. So you're going to have to score 50 points per game with a defense that's going to get torched a lot. And Darnold, I could tell from the prior history, Jets fans, Panthers fans, CPG, who's a Panthers fan, will tell you how terrible Darnold was. And people can say, oh, it's because of the Panthers. Oh, it was because of the Jets. No. No. The quarterback had a part to play in it. Now, they do have some weapons to keep it in the game, but the issue is their defense is trash. It's hot water. It's going to make every single quarterback look good. And Brian Flores is a blitz-heavy machine. If he goes up against a quarterback, like all you have to do against the Vikings defense is play short route. And what I mean by that is getting the ball out super duper quick. And that's all there has to do. They're gonna majority send the pressure on the quarterback, and they're gonna leave the backfield open majority of the time. And I'll say this: anybody who thinks that any rational Vikings fan that think that JJ's in a position to succeed doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay, JJ needs to sit a year, okay, to learn the playbook. And you would have been, and here's the thing, you would have been better off keeping Joshua Dobbs because he knows the playbook better than Darnold. At least you would have kept, if you kept Joshua Dobbs, you would have at least have somebody that knows the playbook. Look, you're becoming what the Chicago Bears were. Have the pieces around, just don't have the quarterback. And that's basically going to set up your quarterback to fail. And Justin Jefferson, like I said, I don't have a problem with the dude getting his bag, but you reap what you soil. Don't complain when JJ McCarthy or Sam Darnold overthrows you. Like I said, don't feel sorry for Justin Jefferson because he knew what he was getting into when he signed that extension. And by the way, have you seen JJ McCarthy at training camp? Dude throw 3 pick sixes in a row. Who does that? I've never seen a quarterback throw 3 pick sixes in a row. And you're going to understand when JJ McCarthy, like I said, if JJ's not running the ball, handing the ball off to a running back, he's in trouble because he did that a lot in Michigan. And you have to have a coach that utilizes them right. And Jim Harbaugh is way better than what Kevin O'Connell ever did. Which brings me to my third team, since I have already done my massive load on the Minnesota Vikings. I got to talk about this team, the Green Bay Packers. I will say that they are a rising team after going to the playoffs, knocking off the Cowboys. They are a rising team. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right. I will admit I was wrong about Jordan Love. I thought Jordan Love was going to be a complete bum, but he proved me wrong last year. But all I have to say is this. You didn't surround him with talent. Now, granted, one thing I know about Green Bay, they know how to scheme around wide receivers. I mean, unless you're a diehard Packer fan or you just hate them like I do, you probably don't even know the Packers wide receiving corps. Their defense, they did the right thing by firing Joe Barry, and they did get an upgrade at defensive coordinator. Someone remind me of who the defensive coordinator's name is, but they still have a lot of pieces on that defense. But the fame of Green Bay is they never develop a good defense, ever, in their history, from what I can remember. Their defense has never been that good. Now, the question is going to be, will Jordan Love reduplicate what he did last year? Because I'm not saying the Packers should have not paid Jordan Love. I want to make that clear. And I didn't say I didn't say, oh, the Packers should not re-sign Jordan Love. I just think they gave him a contract after 8 games. Like, you better hope, Packer fans, and you better pray to God that you don't do the same mistake that the Jaguars did with Blake Bortles. And that means giving him a huge extension, or the Giants with Daniel Jones. So, I mean, their biggest loss was losing Aaron Jones. I will say that the big upgrade was getting Joshua Jacobs, who was an 1,000-yard rusher on the Raiders. Maybe he could be the vocal point of the offense like Aaron Jones, but I think Aaron Jones is a lot better than Josh Jacobs, just my opinion. And speaking of the Bears, I have the Bears ranked second. They did. I like the moves that they did. But the issue that I have with the Bears is they still have problems on the offensive line. I will say outside of Darnell Wright, everything's a question mark for this team. Braxton Jones, can he handle the bull rush? Tevin Jenkins, can he stay healthy? When he's healthy, he's the best offensive lineman in the NFL, if one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL. Then you have the center position. It's been under question for a bit. Maybe you sign Connor Williams, knock on wood, or do you roll with what you have with Coleman Shelton or Ryan Bates? And Nate Davis. Do we even need to discuss Nate Davis? Because Nate Davis just looks like he don't care. Their defense was good down the stretch. The question will be, can Matt Eberflus still win games with a rookie quarterback? Now, Caleb, I will say, has the intentions to be a good quarterback. But I am seeing the reports of training camp. The offensive line needs to stay healthy. Otherwise, they're going to ruin another good quarterback. Now, granted, I'll say Caleb is used to playing with a bad offensive line. I mean, just go at the tape at USC. Besides JJ McCarthy, who always had a perfect offensive line. And so basically, like I said, they do have a quarterback that could be a top-tier quarterback. but it depends on the team build around him and how the coaching is. They did upgrade by getting Shane Waldron, who's an experienced coordinator who resurrected Geno Smith's career. They also got upgrades by getting Keenan Allen. They also got Roma Doomsday. They got DeAndre Swift. They also got Gerald Everett. They also got Kevin Byard, who I really like. They also did some good extensions by extending Jalen Johnson. They also, before last year started, they extended Cole Kmet, which this wide receiver room is so stacked, it's not even funny. It's basically what, and I've said this in my last in my Caleb Williams. This is an all Madden team. This is the Golden State Warriors dynasty. This is the Miami Heat. This is the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. This is the Boston Celtics with Bill Russell. This is basically what a super team looks like. And if Caleb develops to be a good quarterback, then the Bears could be like those dynasties. And getting to last but not least, the Detroit Lions. Detroit, I will say that you did the right thing of extending Jared Goff. You did get some good pieces around him. Your offensive line is still the best in the league. But the question is Jared Goff a quarterback you can win with, or is he a quarterback you can win because of? Now, I do feel like Goff is falling into the category where you can win with but he won't be the reason why you win majority of the games. Besides, let's just put Caleb Williams in the conversation. Caleb Williams has been proven to rally his team to victory, even through the bad moments. Jared Goff has never done that. Jared Goff has consistently had a good team around him. And even before the Lions became good, I'll give you a good example. 2020-21, where the Lions won 3 games. Jared Goff had a terrible team around him, and he looked like a terrible quarterback. Now, their defense is still a question. Their defense was terrible last year. I mean, when you have the Chicago Bears leftovers, a.k.a. Kendall Vildor, then you basically know what you're in for. Now, they did Dan Campbell I'm not saying Dan Campbell's a terrible coach. I'm not saying I'm saying Dan Campbell is a good head coach. But even a rational Lions fan can admit that Dan Campbell has his flaws of going for it on 4th down. He suffers from 4th down elitis. And what does that mean? And I've said this, the Lions would have went to the Super Bowl if they would have kicked the field goal. They would have won the game. And I escalated the score 37-34. The Lions would have made their first Super Bowl in their entire history if Dan Campbell never went for it on 4th down. And he has a tendency of going for it on 4th down. I mean, you're not lying if you didn't think Dan Campbell had a reason to do with the loss against the 49ers by going for it on 4th down consistently instead of taking the points like any rational team would. I get being aggressive is one thing, but at the same time, there's a part of being aggressive and there's a part of being too aggressive. And I remember one game in particular, it was against the Cowboys. Oh, yeah, the referees screwed the Lions. Yep, they're going to do that in Jerry World a lot. But you want to know what would have helped? Not going for 2. If it didn't work the first time, take the points. Trust the overtime process. I mean, what are we talking about? But I have no doubt in my mind Detroit's finishing first. They're winning the division again. I do think that it's going to be the Detroit's division until proven otherwise. That means until the Packers, the Bears, even the Vikings can show that they can prove the competition, then it's the Detroit Lions division until further notice. So anyways, that's my thoughts on the NFC North. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with me. As always, thanks for watching. And always, screw the NFC, other NFC North teams, not the Bears.